After we saw our second repeat winner last week at Talladega in the Xfinity cars, we now return to Daytona for the 12th round of the iRacing East Series Superspeedway Series here in the trucks. And tonight we are paying tribute to one very special person here tonight. We'll get more into that in just a second. We're paying tribute to young Cameron here, who had a bit of tragedy happen recently and is currently recovering in hospital, so all the prayers from not just the ESPN but the iRacing East Series all going out to this young fellow. And before I bring in my broadcast partner, I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors, and it's Circle B Diecast, not Plan B Sales, who are the sponsors of this series. We also have Butt Kicker, iRacing, iFlag, AC Paints, and Midwest Motor Custom. So make sure you check those guys out. But for now, we are ready for some high-tempo racing action, as always, here with iRacing East Series. And joining me for that again this week is Mr. Frank Marchese. Frank, we're racing for playoff points, but we're also racing for one special little man here today.
Yeah, and that's the playoff points almost come secondary after the news we heard not that long ago. You can see a couple of cars here tonight. You'll notice on the 1, the 501, the 00, and the 12 are all running tributes to young Cam, and hopefully everything works out for the best.
Yeah, and he is currently he's in the best hands possible. He's in hospital recovering from a tragedy that happened recently. And you see on the side of Brandon Wilson's truck there, pray for Cam. And you see little Cam on the hood of the truck as well, just to top things off there. So good tributes for him. And we're going to see that on all of the trucks there for that team tonight. And yeah, it's always hard when you've got little well, when it's children involved. It's always difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's really no there's really nothing else you could say. It's always difficult when kids are involved and stuff like that.
Absolutely. But with about just under 10 minutes left to go, just over 8 minutes left to go, we've decided to start a bit early here tonight because they do have something special planned with about maybe 2 or 3 minutes left to go in the session. But while we're doing that, we're just going to talk about how the season's gone on so far here, Frank, and how things are progressing with the playoffs in mind. 4 races left to go before the playoffs, and it is really, really getting exciting now at this point.
Yeah, it is. I just left you a message in your chat, by the way. But yes, it is. This is one of the last 4 races going into the chase. 3 of the 4 are going to be here at Daytona. So it's going to be very, very key to learn as much as you can about Daytona and the way some of these cars handle around here as the season, as iRacing keeps changing the base setups here. It's a little bit tighter here. It's a little bit more narrow. And these trucks as well. This is one of the last 2 times during the season we're going to run the trucks. And I know not a lot of people are fans of the trucks. Trucks are the first race in the chase. So you really have to get accustomed to these trucks. And you really got to become one with them, because you're going to have to race them again at a pretty crucial point in the season.
Yeah, big apologies to everybody out there, just having to listen to my voice amplified by a million. So I've got that back to normal again now, thankfully. As we're seeing out on track, we got Ryan, well, we had somebody out on track there. I think that was the 12 of Greg McConey, and the 00, I believe, of Ryan Worley. They're out on track as well with Brandon Wilson, and they're just trying to show a bit of a force there for little Cameron there, as Cody Wilson has Cody Smith has other ideas.
Oh, yeah, they're taking a little tumble down the back straightaway.
Just a little one. But yeah, it's good to see them all riding together, showing their support for little Cameron and making sure that the prayers go out, the support goes out for the little man and everything else. But anyway, going back to the matter at hand, yeah, the playoffs are coming up. That is obviously the thing on the back of people's minds right now, not at the front, but it's getting down to it. We've only had 2 repeat winners though this season, Frank, with Chris Worrell and Marcus Adams, but is anybody else going to step up and get their second win this season?
I don't know about a second win, but I'm looking at a couple of guys that could be getting their first wins over the course of these last 4 races. Scott Warren hasn't won a race yet. He's been incredibly competitive. Had an issue last week. I believe it was a speeding penalty that put him out of contention last week. Just looking through some of these guys here. Rick Seabrands, he was competitive last week, missed about 2 or 3 races. He came back with a vengeance last week at Talladega. David Emig has returned again. I believe he's actually won a race this season. Greg McConey has had great runs all season long. Aaron Tribble ran great last week, but the one I'm going to be looking at is the number 8 of Michael Anthony. He's, again, a guy who was riding in the back earlier in the season. However, these last couple of races, he said, it's time to get aggressive, it's time to have a little fun. And he came within 6/100ths of a second of winning last week.
Yeah, very close, and he's knocking on the door for a win here in the Superspeedway Series. Just got a little... a nice little camera shot of the 12, the 00, and the 501 there, just making their way around track in tandem right there. And it's, again, bumper to bumper, showing their support for little Cameron. And making sure that he's well looked after, and obviously being where he is well looked after, and definitely looking forward to that one. But first race winners, we've had a few shock race winners this season. Gavin Hibbs. We've also had, his name will come to me eventually.
I believe James Cato won the money race, did he not?
He did win the money race, and
Zach Bowerman's had a win this year.
Yep.
Connor Trafari won the opener.
And Connor Trafari was a shock though, because he was pretty much an outsider to win a race this season, and then he just goes, in the first race of the season, goes out and wins it.
It's a nice way to get it out of the way. Just jump right on the first one.
Pretty much.
So there's a good shot with the 3 of them going 3 abreast.
I've got it on a screenshot cam so I can see them all 3 of them in the same camera shot.
Oh, there you go.
As they're currently duking it out. Oh, someone just...
Yeah, I was going to say, somebody stop there.
They're currently drafting with the balls out, guys. Well, the balls energy drink boys, so good to see that one there as we're looking at Greg McConey. We've got about 2 minutes left in practice now, so we should be seeing this special event happening very soon, and I'm hoping we are, because
well, I would have to expect. And again, so we do have 2.5 minutes left in practice right now. The 5-minute 1-lap qualifying will be to follow, and just for the race, it's going to be 80 laps here tonight. Fuel limit, they're only allowed to fuel the cars 75% to capacity. No tire limits for tonight's race. No fast repairs as per usual on the season.
Yeah, and starting right now, I believe they are getting done now. We've got some people doing burnouts down there on the track, paying their respects to young Cameron. There you see Cody Smith up there doing burnouts.
You can see that trio is now coming to a stop at the line with the 2 and the 99.
Yeah, I'm looking for them right now.
40's there as well at the start finish line. There we go.
They are at the line, and we should see them start burning them down any second now. And here we go. That's Ryan Lowe doing Burnouts just behind him. You see the three at the front there. And there they go. There goes Worley, and there goes Brandon Wilson. And everybody just doing Burnouts in support for little Cameron, and making sure the word is spread that everybody at iRacing East Series and here at ESPN showed their support for the young man. Even Byron's doing Burnouts down there.
Was attempting to, at least.
Look at this shot of all these guys doing Burnouts. This is awesome.
Rather special moment, yes, without a doubt.
Rick Seabrand's just bumping everybody out of the way. It's like a aluminium mosh pit down there.
He might, I think, because I've been having my car focused on him because he was kind of in the middle of the group. I think he blew up and had to go back to the pits, which is why he came flying in like that.
But look at how dark the tarmac has got down there. That's just unbelievable. As we're looking at,
and that's qualifying set to begin.
Yeah, so that is the special thing that they had planned for little Cameron, just to get the ball rolling for today and really showing the support for Cameron. And as I've already said, from iRacing East Series and especially from us up here in ESPN, we do hope that he gets well soon. As we're looking at qualifying just starting right now. Marcus Adams out on track right now, and he is last week's winner. Now, it's taken us this long to get our first repeat winner of the season here, Frank. Are we going to see our first back-to-back winner this week?
You can't really count on it, but you also can't count it out. These are crapshoot races. Anybody can win any given week, and through the first 10 weeks, we saw exactly that. It's hard to win one of these in a row. Two is pretty. You have to be in the perfect spot again in order to win two in a row, and we've seen all season long there really is no perfect spot when it comes to these guys.
Absolutely not. As we're seeing Marcus Adams just coming down to the line, and I like the fact that they've carried it over from practice, the track state, because look at the state of the finish line.
It is very nice to see that what you do in these sessions does carry over. One of the better things iRacing has done. Yep, qualifying is carried over from practice. Race track is carried over from practice, so we'll probably be seeing it all race.
Which is good. Burnouts for Cameron. As still looking at Marcus Adams just making his way through 3 and 4 in that 31, and let's see what he can put down here as he comes down towards the line. And we've not had any times going yet. I believe Marcus Adams will be the man with the benchmark here as he does cross the line. And Ryan Decker goes straight to the top there out of nowhere with a 52.027. Marcus Adams calling it one and done here.
Yeah, it's important really is if we could just go really quick to Byron Rodney in the 75. He was running on that outside lane during the first lap, during the get up to speed lap. It is very, very crucial to do that, especially when you're on a one lap qualifying, to get as much speed built up as you possibly can. And then the second lap, just we're seeing with Byron right now, you pin it right to the bottom. Wait, he has it pinned to the bottom, my goodness.
Yeah, Byron Rodney making his first appearance for quite a few rounds here. Obviously, a part-time runner, but that's owing to his current job, which is as a truck driver, as Byron Rodney goes across the line and will go up to P15. So it wasn't as fast as we thought it was.
Yeah, now he's starting at the back of the field right now, and by a couple tenths is Byron. But again, really doesn't matter where you qualify here. You could be up at the front in 2 seconds if you really push it.
Greg McConey out on track now in the one of the special trucks they're paying tribute here tonight. Making his way through 3 and 4, about to start his qualifying run now as the times are coming in thick and fast. Ryan Decker still on the pole here with James Lowe in second. We're seeing a very different top 5 here this week. This is very interesting.
Yeah, Jason Papp about to cross the line as well on his hot lap. And we'll go up to P2. So a good time for the number 1. But yeah, you're right. We are seeing a different top of the field to what we're used to seeing. Now, Scott Warren, who's been on the pole quite a bit over this last month, just starting his lap. Chris Worrell hasn't put in a time. I believe, both the brothers Smith both put times in, so they're a little bit lower than we expected. Joe Francis hasn't put in a time. Keith Smalley hasn't put in a time. So there's still a lot of heavy hitters that still have not yet to qualify.
As Will Rodarmer just goes up to P15 there. And the number 37, we've got Greg McConey just coming across the line now. Let's see where that's going to put him. 52.092. And that is good enough for P4 for the 12 as we go to Scott Warren now. Man, you've already mentioned here tonight, looking for his first race win of the season.
Yeah, coming down on the apron. Something you can do in these trucks here. Going a little bit slower, only puts it up to P6, so a 10th quicker. A 1,000th quicker than Brandon Wilson. So not the normal qualifying effort we're used to seeing out of Scott Warren, as qualifying has come to a close.
That it has, and with that, let's bring up the qualifying order for tonight's race. Starting up on the pole will be Ryan Decker, making his return for the first time in a few races. Jason Papp will be joining him on the front row. Row 2 will be James Lowe and Greg McConey. Row 3 will be Marcus Adams and Scott Warren. Row 4 will be Brandon Wilson and Nick Kessler. And row 5 will be David Emig and Cody Smith. Row 6 will be Aaron Tribble and Logan Jones. Row 7 will be Zach Bowman and Connor Trafari. And row 8 will be Brody Smith and Ryan Worley, Frank.
That will leave row 9 with Bill Rodarmer and Michael Anthony. Row 10 will be Zashawn Guerra and Gavin Hibbs. Row 11, Byron Rodney and Will Klein. Row 12, Spencer Owens and Rick Seabrands. Chris Worley and Keith Smalley. Make up row 12. Row 13 will go to Joe Francis and James Cato. Row 14, Mark Mann and Jesse Cottrell. Row 15, Roberto Ramirez and Nicholas Wing. Gene Cato and John LeBombard will make up the 16th and final row here this evening.
Now 34 trucks set to take the green here at Daytona, and very big field as you normally would expect for these guys this season, and really looking forward to this one, Frank.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wild race, and a lot of these guys we heard. I believe it was, if I remember right, I think it was Marcus Adams last week said he wasn't too thrilled about running these trucks. But again, like I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this is the first car you're going to be running in the chase are these trucks. So you're going to have to get used to them, and you're going to have to drive them whether you like it or not.
That is absolutely true. As the trucks start rolling out of pit road right now, as we use this fantastic camera to show them rolling out, as you see the camera and trucks rolling out. There's the other one, that is Ryan Worley at the back there. There's Byron Rodney. Now it's going to be a very tentative race. We know how easy it is to damage these trucks here at Daytona, especially when they're going at the speeds they're at, Frank.
Yeah, and the little scrapes of the wall, those are really killers in these trucks, other than not really being able to see through the truck you're pushing, which is the biggest complaint when you're driving these things at super speedways. Just a slight little scrape of the wall can knock a couple miles an hour off of your top speed, and with how long it takes for these trucks to get wound up in the first place, that's a pretty much a death sentence for you.
So Ryan Decker on the pole here with Jason Papp to his outside. And definitely looking forward to this one. 80 laps around here in the trucks. Doesn't seem that long if you're in a cup car, but the trucks are a bit slower than the cup cars, so it's going to take a bit longer.
Yeah, only 20 laps short of what the actual truck series distance would be. And again, we're going to have to get used to this because the next week is at Daytona as well. Then they go back to Talladega, and then the Halloween special is here. And the Halloween special is the last race before the chase. So the next three of the next 4 races are going to be right here.
Pace truck is off now as we get ready to go racing here at Daytona. Green flag in the air, and we are racing here. 4 races left to go before the playoffs, and we are underway as they go flying off towards turn 1. And it's going to be Ryan Decker leading down as we begin lap 1 here, Frank.
Yeah, the 2 balls out drivers, the 99 of James Lowe and the 31 of Marcus Adams, trying to push him along, but we got the two team cars up at the top of up on the top lane there. That's Jason Papp in the 1, the front car, and then Greg McConey in the 12 is the second car, and a little bit of a nudge there from the 12. Got the 1 to wiggle a little bit. Everything stays good.
Now to make the way through 3 and 4 for the first time here tonight. Under the lights here at Daytona, it's going to be Ryan Decker with the nose out in front with the Oreos machine as they come down across the line. And Ryan Decker will lead the first lap of the night here at this track in the iRacing East Series, Superspeedway Series, of course. Ryan Decker first, James Lowe in second, Jason Papp in third, as we're going to switch tickers right there. And it's interesting race of strategy here, Frank. We've seen it many times before. People pushing forward as the race progresses, and people dropping back as the race progresses.
Yeah, that's what we had talked about during the post-race interviews with Michael Anthony. He said he's done riding in the back. He wants to have fun. He wants to get up and attack and go for the race lead here. I'm not quite sure where Anthony is, but one guy who has moved up is that 75 of Byron Rodney. He's moved up. He's the lead car in that second group now.
As he drops down towards the apron right in front of Zach Bowman. There is Rodney in the 75 PH Aware and Autism Awareness machine. Really knows how to drive these machines. As we've got one drop into the apron there. Looked like it might have been Marcus Adams.
It was. The 501 gave him an odd bump, kind of wiggled him down there. But a good recovery from the 31 and good job from Wilson to give him room to come back up.
Yeah, that's the 4, I believe, and Nick Kessler dropping back as well. So,
it was.
As they cross the line, well, the second time here tonight, well, third time. I'm losing track of time already. Go me. As they make their way into turn 1, it's still Ryan Decker on that bottom line with Ryan Lowe right behind him, and you've got Greg McConey and Jason Papp line astern there. Oh, nose to tail on that outside line. We've got another one drop into the apron there. Can't quite see who that is. I believe
it's one of the it's David Emig. The 02.
Ah, yes.
I had a feeling it was him.
Yeah, I felt something in the force. Anyway, so to the man that started this whole tribute thing off here tonight, Brandon Wilson, already up to P6 right now as they make their way down towards turn 1. He's on that inside line. You got 2 cam trucks on the outside, 2 Cameron trucks on the inside. All 4 of those drivers teammates, so a good team effort from those guys early on.
Yeah, they're working very well. They've got James Lowe leading the outside lane, the number 96 of Ryan Decker still leading that inside lane, and Marcus Adams bringing up right behind him, but a very good showing as you would have hoped with the 4 tribute trucks.
Yep, as top, there we go.
Wiggling a little bit there going into the...
Little bit, and it's very easy to get loose in these trucks as well. Just one little tap will end your race here tonight, so that's the one thing they don't want to do. Remember, these guys do not have fast repairs, so if you wreck it, you're done. As I'm looking a bit further back of that pack there, and that number 75 is creeping ever closer to the front already here tonight, Frank.
Yeah, that's what I said in qualifying. Byron Rodney had had the slowest time by about 0.2 of a second, but with the way you race these tracks, it really doesn't matter. And you're right back up, right up to the top here.
There's the 37 and Will Rodarmer having a few connection problems there, coming through 3 and 4 as they come across the line. It's going to be Ryan Decker again leading this thing as they come down towards turn 1. Still got those burnout marks on the in the tri-oval, which is great to see. As Kessler dropping back again. Now, Kessler keeps making these runs in the 4. No, there he is. Oh, and we've got a big wreck. Ryan Decker in trouble. Big wreck.
Yeah, that's Brody Smith in there as well. David Emick. It's just from what I could see.
Oh, what a bad start for Brody Smith there. He was really strong last week, and luckily it looks like Brody Smith might have got away with very minimal damage, but unfortunately for Ryan Decker, his night is done.
I didn't necessarily see what happened, but with the guy on the inside line doesn't go to the outside. Oh, he came up across the nose of Pap, I believe. You know, it's the one of Jason Papp in the middle lane. He tried to move up to get around low to lead that outside lane, and he just wasn't clear.
Yeah, and Ryan Decker receiving a ton of damage from that. And that will effectively end his night competitively at least. As we are under our first caution of the night on lap 8 of 20. Lap 8 of 80, not 20. What am I talking about?
Tell you one guy who got really lucky, Zach Bowerman in the 9. He went for a big slide down the back straightaway and just stopped before hitting that inside wall. Got no damage on that number 9.
Very lucky. And sometimes in these races you need luck to be on your side, and Bowman getting away with no damage in that one. Brody Smith has got damage on his truck, but very minimal, so he got very lucky as well. Chris Worrell in the 6, or it says the 06 this week, might have got caught up in it, but he might have just fallen to the back either way, but he's showing like he's okay. The only person that's got the serious damage out of that one was Ryan Decker.
Yeah, Decker got the most of it, and again, it's these split-second decisions you have to try to make, and unfortunately for Decker, he made his a tick too late.
That he did. As we go to the pit road there, and Jason Papp is stayed out, but it's going to be Gavin Hibbs, I believe, that's won the race off pit road there.
Yeah, this is gas-only territory right here for these guys. You don't really need tires here at the super speedways. We talk about that every single week. But, yeah, this is gas-only territory.
Yeah, so 5.9 in the box for Gavin Hibbs. Byron Rodney was second out of pit road. He was...
I think Will Rodemar was actually the first one off of pit road, if I was looking at that replay right.
So Will Rodarmer got 6.2 in his box. Somehow made it out ahead of Mark Mann and Nicholas Wing. So how he's done that is completely beyond me.
Probably further up the line there.
Yeah.
Pat being the only one that stayed out. So you would have to think between 20 and 25 laps on fuel, with them only being able to fill the cars up 75%. This is it might be a short run for Pap up front.
We've got two drivers coming in. That would be Mann and Wing coming in pit road. So late pit stops. I think those two tried to stay out to possibly lead a lap, but they weren't expecting Pap to stay out. So Pap going to get a bonus point for leading a lap here, so good for him. He's going to have Road Armor to his outside when we go back to green, and go back to green this lap. Next lap we will. So it is Pap, Road Armor, Hibbs, Rodney, James Lowe up there, Marcus Adams there too, Brandon Wilson, the first of the I like to call them the cam trucks up there, with Ryan Worley there too. Actually, it's not the first of the cam trucks because Jason Papp is up there.
Papp would be, yep. Worley being the first of the ones that hit.
As they make their way down the backstretch here. Frank, I believe you're going to get us going for the first time here tonight?
I believe I am. As you just mentioned, I'm heading down the Daytona Super Stretch. So again, just to reiterate, it'll be Jason Papp and Will Rodamer that will be leading the field down. Gavin Hibbs, Byron Rodney in row 2, James Lowe and Marcus Adams row 3. Then you have 2 of the 4 tribute cars of Worley and Wilson. Worley on the inside, Wilson on the outside, and then Michael Anthony, who started back in 18th. He's up to 9th with Aaron Tribble in the number 86. I believe that's a Toy Story truck.
Oh, dear.
That number 86. Yes, it is.
Oh, dear.
As the pace car ducks on off, short run to the line, and the green flag is back out. We're racing once again here at Daytona.
That we are, as they make their way towards turn 1 again. Pap going to lead them down there towards that corner, and Road Armor looks like he might have a run being pushed by Byron Rodney going through there. Rodney just biding his time. Very patient driver is Byron. As you see Hibbs getting a bit out of shape coming out of turn 2 there, Frank.
Yeah, Marcus Adams thought about making it 3 wide going through turns 1 and 2, thought better of it. Still 2 by 2. Gavin Hibbs, that orange car in the inside lane, again, as we mentioned before, race winner here this season, trying to duplicate that, try to build that momentum going into the playoffs.
Now, as Marcus Adams has made it 3 wide up there at the top, and very bold move there by last week's race winner, as if he doesn't get any help up there, he's going to fall back very quickly, and you see Nick Kessler making a run on that high line as well.
Yeah, Kessler's been, you mentioned it during that first run there, Kessler's timing his runs. See how long it takes for him to get up, see how long it takes for him to make the passes, see how long it takes for him to get that run up to the back end of another car. So that 4 right now is just testing the waters, and he's going to be able to stick behind that number 31 as Tribble lets them in.
Now, Road Armor to the point now as they, well, he gets the nose out in front of the line, so he gets that lap led. Jason Papp still holding strong on that inside line. The outside line starting to falter slightly. You got Brandon Wilson right behind Byron Rodney, and now I believe we have Michael Anthony making his way forward up to P7 as well. So watch for him in that number 8 machine. He won't be sitting back there for very long, I feel, Frank.
Yeah, no, he won't. He's going to want to get up there and start mixing it up with these guys, start leading laps. I believe he's that 4th car on the out. Oh, no, that's not. He might be the 88 as boy, Rodamer made a slice in front of Pap. And Michael Anthony is in Matt Crafton's number 88 here tonight. So that will leave Byron Rodney, who again, slowest of the qualifiers, trying just about to be the quickest of the racers.
Michael Anthony is in the blue and white car on the outside.
I could have swore that was Smalley in the 46.
No,
he's not. Oh, okay. He's not here. Doesn't matter. He's not. It's not his number 8. That's all that matters.
Byron Rodney now leading the outside line, being pushed by Brandon Wilson here as they come down towards turn 3. Rodney going to come down, and he will take over the lead here. So good run by the 75 so far. Brandon Wilson takes over the lead on the outside line, being pushed by Michael Anthony now down towards the line.
Yeah, it's only the first race of the season as Wilson will not get that lap lead. I think Byron had the nose out there. First race of the season, and Byron loves running these super speedways, and he's showing it, going from midfield all the way up to the front. And we thought this guy was done. The 22 of Brody Smith, he's right up there now in the mix. He's the 4th car on the outside lane.
I did say during that wreck he got very minimal damage. You can see pretty much only got the slight crinkle on the left front of the car. So he probably still has a lot of horses left in that Butterfinger number 22. He's running right behind Nick Kessler right now, and Kessler making his way forward as well. So yeah, Brody Smith's still showing a lot of speed in that Butterfinger number 22.
With how sensitive these trucks are to damage, my question would be, can he lead a group? As there goes Wilson down to the inside lane and take the lead. Can he lead a group? You can suck up with a little bit of front end damage. You can't really push all that well, but you can certainly suck up and hold a draft. The real test of whether or not that damage is affecting the 22 is if he can lead a line.
Yeah, and just taking a quick glance as Anthony dropping back there. He might have caught the wall there. Or he might have just decided to back out of it because he might be seeing something about to happen, but nothing happening right now. They're pretty much running single file up the front.
Now, he had a long way to fall back to the guys behind him that were on that outside lane. I think that was a planned fallback from the driver of the 46-8, whatever he's running.
Engine getting a bit too hot, maybe?
Leading the line...
Probably not.
He was behind the 501 and pushing, so that might have been it. But he was in the lead of that line for a good half a lap. I don't think he would have fell back for that particular reason at that point.
Now we've had problems for Greg McConey already. He is down in P29. I'm not really sure what happened to McConey. 1 minute 27. I think he might have been caught up in that wreck and the caution, but he doesn't look like he's got damage on his truck though.
He might have. You have timing and scoring up. He might have come into pit to top off and just got caught out of the sink and didn't make it back up to the group. Possibly, because I'm not seeing damage on that number 12 either.
Yeah, so just going back up to the front there, and Byron Rodney almost trying to play two halves against the middle here. Didn't quite work out for him as Brandon Wilson goes back to the point here, going down the Daytona super stretch towards turn 3. We are on lap 18 of 80 here at Daytona, and it is Brandon Wilson leading them down out of turn 4 as the front pack pretty much bunched up. You're going all the way back to, I believe, Jesse Cottrell, Mark Mann back there as well. Gene Cato is in the lead pack as well. That's pretty impressive there for the 33. He's had such bad luck lately.
Yeah, he's also been one of those guys that would like to hang out at the back and then just kind of pick his way through the wrecks when it comes to later in the race. One guy that got really lucky on that caution flag was James Cato in the 3. He was that lone car in front of the leaders, about to get lapped before that lap was over. So a huge break there for the 3 of James Cato. He's up here in this group as well, right behind Tribble in the 60 and the 86.
Yeah, and James Cato, winner of the Dash for Cash and winner one of the many winners this season. But his was extra special because he won money from it, so definitely something to say with that. I think it was $65 he picked up from that.
I believe it was. This is going to get a little dicey here. That's Nicholas Wing, Zach Bowerman, and David Emig on the outside lane. Not seeing damage out of those guys. That might be the same case as Greg McConey, where they came into pit and just couldn't make it back around to catch up to the pack for the restart.
Yeah, unfortunately, as they come out of turn 4 once again, we're going to have
somebody coming in.
Yeah, that is Nick Kessler coming into pit road. That's a unusual thing there.
That's a strategy call, and this is honestly, it's not too long before Jason Pappen, the one, should be coming in. It's right around the time where Kessler just drove through.
Huh.
Unless he missed the box.
Unless he got pushed down there.
I didn't notice that. He looked pretty controlled when he went down.
Big changes at the front, though. Gavin Hibbs now leading this thing with Byron Rodney right behind him. Brandon Wilson on the third on the inside line as they're coming up on. That is Greg McConey they're coming up on now.
Yes, it is. And it looks like, it looks like Brody Smith got away with that unscathed because he could lead this group. He's getting pushed by Lowe right now at number 99, and he's not holding that group up. So a huge bullet dodged by the driver of the 22.
Yeah, as I said earlier, he got very minimal damage. Like, you see that crinkle on the left front? That is all he got from that wreck. That was it.
Yep. But sometimes in these trucks, especially at super speedways, that's all it takes. And it's incredibly unfair and incredibly unforgiving, but just that's how it is sometimes.
Now look at this on the outside line. Roberto Ramirez started on the back row of the grid. I believe Joe Francis was right behind him, right with him as well. Both of them have made their way up to the front now very early on and are fighting for the lead now. So that is just showing how quickly you can push your way to the front if you get a clean enough run.
And Ramirez just pushed the number 99 of James Lowe right to the lead. So a big run from the 88 to show the 41 on timing and scoring. But Roberto Ramirez, he's driving that Ford F-150 for all it's worth right now. He's about to drive it to the lead.
Yeah, and like I said, Joe Francis, I believe, started back there with him. And he's made his way forward as well, so good to see him up there. Byron Rodney again flirting with the yellow line there, coming through the trioval.
Ramirez starting in 29th of 32. Joe Francis starting 25th of 32. So, yeah, you're right. Those guys starting well at the back of the field after not putting down qualifying times have worked their way up, and now they've gotten somewhat hung out to dry. Is Zach Coleman, who has rear end damage from that first incident, getting pushed by Michael Anthony. 2 cars on the outside lane, and now 3 with Gavin Gibbs moving up. It's quite difficult to beat about 20 cars on the inside.
Now we're on board with Zach Berman right now, and he's being, like you said, he is being pushed by Michael Anthony as they come out of turn 4 once again to complete another lap here. And James Lowe is another driver that really needs a win. He's been running up there quite a bit this season, just not been that lucky to get a race win. The man right behind him, Brody Smith, still looking for a race win. And then Roberto Ramirez, I believe this is only his second race here, so very impressive showing early on. If he gets a full season under his belt, I think he might be very impressive and really catch a lot of people by surprise if he gets a full season under his belt.
Yeah, last week Ramirez spent most of the race. He goes and dives in front of Lowe for the lead. Ramirez spent a lot of last week's race just trying to stay out of everyone's way, make a good impression your first time out. And now he said, all right, introduction's over. Time to put the hammer down, as Gavin Hibbs about to push Joe Francis right to the top.
Yeah, and Joe Francis, I believe, has had a win this season. No, he's been on the podium. I don't think he's had a win. But good to see Francis up there. As we're seeing Greg McConey stayed with the lead pack despite going a lap down. Now he's in a prime spot for a lucky dog, but he's also in a dangerous spot though, because if there is a wreck at the front there, he is very much going to get caught up in it.
Yeah, we just saw that happen with the first wreck. of the race. But yes, he is the lucky dog car right now. Guys who are lucky dogs in that spot is now here come the team tribute cars all coming in. This is because Jason Papp did not pit under the caution. Had all of his teammates come in with him. Has the 00 and the 501 with him. McConey staying out, needing that lucky dog.
Yep, as we are going to stay with these guys for just a second and see what sort of times they get in the pit box. Do they take 4 tires? Do they take 2 tires? The only natural thing you could say is that they would take 4 tires, but it looks like Worley only took fuel. Pap took 4 in fuel, and Wilson only took fuel as well. Wilson actually only took 2 tires.
So different strategies all down the line for the tribute cars. Is still up at the front. They're still running side by side. They're about to catch Kessler, who again just drove through pit road a couple of laps ago. So that 4 has now fallen a lap down.
Yeah, and that still helped Greg McConey because Kessler dropped right back through that lead pack, and McConey's still holding on to that lucky dog spot, but looks as though he's trying to get his lap back the hard way as he's right on the tailgate of the 22 Brody Smith and trying to push him to the front, it seems.
Yeah, we've seen these guys work well together. The 22 Brody Smith, the 12 of Greg McConey, all season long. We've seen them work very, very well together. Doesn't matter if you're a lap down or on the lead lap. You're still getting pushed to the lead if you're Brody Smith, and he just led that last lap.
Absolutely is. Oh. That was Road Armour getting a bit out of shape there on the outside line with Michael Anthony right behind him. James Lowe falling back to P9, it looks like. So he's taking a bit of a break from running at the front. He's got Byron Rodney right to his left. As it looks like, I'm doing that right. I think that's Connor Trafari on that inside line right in front of Aaron Tribble, trying to keep pace with that bunch of trucks in front of him. That's Cody Smith in front of him as well.
Yeah, those guys have been moving up, and Cody Smith, we haven't seen as aggressive as we normally have seen him. One guy who's also starting to make his way forward now is McConey officially does get that lap back the hard way, is the number 9 of Zach Bowerman. Now the last car on that outside lane, he is the lucky dog now, but with how precarious the lead of that group is, he's going to want to get up to the front of this pack as well, just to make sure if a caution does come out, he truly is the first car off of the lead lap, because now McConey is in the lucky dog position.
Yeah, as we're looking at the 3 other tribute cars, that is Pap, Wilson, and Worley. They are about to be caught by the lead pack, which is now being led by Will Road Armour, as they will go a lap down unless, and I'm just speculating here, I'm pretty sure this lead pack needs to come into pit road very soon.
Yeah, it's getting about that time. What, they came in with 8 laps in, 20 to 25 laps on a tank of fuel, so we're talking about another 10 laps or so before the pit window opens for this front group. So it's not as close as they need it to be, but it is certainly close.
Yeah, as we're seeing Michael Anthony there getting a push from James Lowe there coming on the outside. He's not got much other help though. He's only got James Lowe behind him. They're going to need a bit more help than that if they want to push the way forward as they come down for the tri-oval. Nobody peeling off towards pit road, so they carry on their merry way. Brody Smith on the 3rd in line on that inside line, but currently in P4, as we've already mentioned, Greg McConey is a lap down. And right behind Brody Smith is Joe Francis, and we've got Ramirez right there, and we've got Gavin Hibbs up there too. So the same people that have been running at the front early on this race, still right up there, still running strong.
Yeah, everyone's kind of fallen single file, and this is one of the problems. One of the things that guys said that they did not like about running the trucks, as I mentioned, it's so important, and that's why there's that clear little sheet of plexiglass on the rear spoiler of the Cup cars is now here come the leaders. Boy, Sam, you're bang on it.
Well, it's amazing what I can do when I've had some sleep. Anyway, Brody Smith.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, huh?
Well, it is coming up to winter, so. As they all bring it down pit side. Didn't look like anybody broke the speed limits in pit road right now as they come out of pit road. That's Joe Francis, Roberto Ramirez, Gavin Hibbs getting a bit sideways. Brody Smith getting a bit sideways as well. As we're going to look to the front of the field now, and are they going to bring it down pit road as well? The answer is yes, they are.
I was about to say I would expect everyone except McConey. But no, everybody's in. Aaron Tribble leads the last group to come in.
Yeah, McConey came in as well. So
yeah, he did.
Unusual there as Aaron Tribble staying out with
Tribble, Seabrands, and Mann. The two guys that stayed out with him.
Yeah, and that's Nicholas Wing in the background. He's already a lap down, but when these guys pit, and they will, Nicholas Wing will get his lap back. However, he's going to be incredibly off sync.
I think Wing's going to come in with these guys. That would be the smartest move.
We'll find out now as here they come.
Yep, there he comes.
So Scott Warren is going to be the man leading the second group coming out of pit road right now. Actually, I take that back. That's going to be Cody Smith leading them out with Connor Trafari right behind him. And remember, Trafari is very skilled in these trucks. He did get that race win in the first race of the season, and it was in the truck. So watch out for that number 48 as here comes Brody Smith and co on that outside line to retake the lead with Joe Francis, Roberto Ramirez and Gavin Hibbs already up to speed there and already up into the top 4 spots right now.
Yeah, and look who else is not far off of that group. It's the Memorial Trio of Pap, Wilson, and Worley. Those guys are not that far off this lead group as they now have the 6 of Chris Worrell ahead of them to try to pull them along up to the back end of Zach Bowerman.
Yeah. Greg McConey should get his lucky dog spot back right here. As Nicholas Wing is only just coming out of pit road now, so there we go. Greg McConey back up to the lucky dog spot. If there is a caution right here, he will get it. But they're all getting a bit jumbled up here in the mid-pack.
Yeah, it was Brody Smith that just took the lead. So the lead pack are the 6 cars that have broken away up at the front. That's Brody Smith, Joe Francis, and Gavin Hibbs on the inside. Cody Smith, Connor Trafari, and Roberto Ramirez on the outside lane. Now here comes the rest of the pack to catch up.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the biggest loser out of that pit stop, though, was this man, Byron Rodney, falling all the way back to P24 through that pit stop. So problems there as we've got Nick Kessler coming out of pit road now.
And he is in a pack, though, so I wouldn't be too concerned about Rodney. I think he'll be perfectly fine, as now we're getting back to the 2x2 racing that we're accustomed to seeing from these guys.
Yeah, and it's Cody Smith that's leading his brother down through the trioval right now, and that's Connor Trafari on the outside. Roberto Ramirez is up there. Scott Warren is up there fighting at the front again now, and we didn't see that coming early on in the race as that pit stop has really worked out in his favor right now.
Yeah, Warren was sitting at the back of the field, just kind of biding his time, just a completely different strategy from what we're used to seeing from him over this last month to 5 weeks. And he's now right back in the thick of things after the pit cycle. And this is actually refreshing to see because we're so used to seeing these guys all just sort of trickle off and this lead pack gets smaller and smaller when the pit cycle happens. Not tonight. They are all still right with each other and still have a shout at the lead.
Yep, so Cody Smith's going to lead him down to the line once again and will lead another lap here at Daytona as they make the run towards turn 1. Scott Warren still back there in P7. The only driver that did not take tyres in that last run of pit stops is this man in the number 86 Toy Story machine. I believe it's a Toy Story car. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
He only took fuel that time around, so he's got a lot of confidence in those tyres.
Yeah, he might get a little wiggly on corner exit, but other than that, he should be fine. As Connor Trafari, winner of the season opener, just falls in front of Cody Smith to take the lead.
Yeah, like I said, Trafari very talented in these trucks. He knows how to get them done, and he already proved that this season as they come out of turn 4 once again to complete lap 38 of 90 of 80. Sorry.
Cody Smith wasn't having any of that.
Yeah.
Trafari fell right in front of him. He said, "Nah, son, off to the outside I go. I want this lead back."
And Cody Smith is another one that's been unlucky this season. Actually, both of the Smith brothers have been very unlucky this season. So, Brody Smith getting a bit more luck last week. And remember when we spoke to him last week, he said he was going to be looking for a race win. He's showing that now as Cody Smith falling back into the pack again now.
Yeah, this is when you need the race win. Again, only 3 more races until the playoffs after tonight. So time's ticking on trying to secure your spot in the playoffs to try to race for a championship.
Absolutely. Is there 3 wide back there? And that is Greg McConey on the inside as they're getting a bit wobbly there. Ramirez pushed to the outside with Scott Warren up there as well.
Well, you couldn't fit a piece of paper between Warren and the wall there on corner entry. He is riding that fence.
Trafari's pulling off. He's had enough.
I don't know if it's necessarily Trafari had enough or he might have... Oh yeah, no, he bailed out of that.
As now we've got James Lowe making a power move to the outside, being pushed by Marcus Adams. As they come out of turn 4 once again, we are just hitting halfway right now. As they come down towards the line, 3 wide in the new knitting style here, Frank.
3 wide for the race lead, 2 rows deep. There's Marcus Adams. We hadn't spoken about him since the start, pushing that 99 on the outside lane, and now Cody Smith left in the middle with absolutely no help. Still hanging in there, though, without a drafting partner.
Yeah. James Lowe's got 99 problems, but a truck ain't one. As they come down the backstretch. See what I did there?
I think a teammate pushing him was one of the problems, though, as Adams pushes him to the lead. Lowe ducks down, and Adams, one of only 2 guys that has multiple wins on the season, right back to the point. He's got Roberto Ramirez pushing him.
Absolutely, as they come through the tri-oval once again on lap 42 of 80. We are well past halfway now. 39 laps to go here at Daytona. It is finally poised for another dramatic finish here at Daytona. If things stay as they are, we are seeing other drivers starting to make their way forward. One driver we've not spoken about yet tonight, Zayshan Dura, is up fighting for that last spot in the top 10 now, Frank.
Yeah, he is. And also another guy we were talking about, that number 75 of Byron Rodney. We were talking about him being the biggest loser of the pit stops. He's right back up here at the tail end of the outside line, the front group.
Yeah, he's right there, fighting in that last tail end of the top 10. He is just ahead of Jesse Cottrell, is another driver we've not spoken about yet tonight. He's just there next to Keith Smalley. Smalley driving the number 2 Balls machine. And that's how far Trafari's fallen back. He's fallen from the lead all the way back to P16 now. That's how much he backed out of it.
Yeah, and again, that's 100% by design for the number 48 of Connor Trafari. Is now we're seeing that outside line starting to lose that momentum. Cody Smith still trying to make that outside line work, but he's got a little ways back to Will Rodemar in the 37, and they're still falling backwards.
As here comes Marcus Adams, and now Brody Smith has had enough. He wants to take that outside line now. He's got Marcus Adams right behind him and his brother right there too, as they come for the tri-oval once again. And yeah, like I said, this race is finally poised.
Yeah, it's the anticipation is starting to build, and I can completely see where Cody Smith is coming from, trying to stay on the outside line and try to lead that line. I have this happen to me all the time in official races here. You just get sick and tired of letting off and running half throttle. You just want to punch it. And I think that's what Cody Smith gotten to that point, but now he's kind of fallen back into the middle of the pack. He's got Zishan Duera right behind him. And going to the outside is Byron Rodney in the 75, although I think he might have dumped back in.
No, 75 is still on the outside there. He's running to the outside of Michael Anthony now, and this is a very strong showing by the 75 right here. After the pit stops came back out in P24, and I believe they're putting around somebody right now. I can't quite see who that is.
I think that's Gene Cato in the 33. Or no, actually, it might be John LeBombard in the 95, actually.
Which makes it weird for me, because I'm not used to seeing him in a paint scheme like that. It's usually a black, orange, and white paint scheme or something like that.
Got the white part down.
Yeah.
A little bit of accents with the black. It's just we're missing the orange.
But he usually runs a Levine family paint scheme, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. We were talking about Scott Warren up at the front of the field. He is now the last car on the lead lap. He's at the back end of this group, running in 25th position. So a complete reversal of tactics for the number 17.
Yeah, and he's right behind Brandon Wilson and Jason Papp now. As the one and the 501, not really, they're very much off sync right now. And that was because of Jason Papp staying out during that one caution we've had here tonight so far.
If I may ask again, because you have the timing and scoring, which lap did they come in?
Wait a second.
Gavin Hibbs.
Lap 27 they came in.
Lap 27, so this is 20 laps. I would assume they're coming in again very, very shortly.
Absolutely. As we go back to the lead pack here, Ryan Lowe still controlling proceedings at the front here, and Brody Smith right there behind him. Marcus Adams on the outside, still posing a big threat here, and Chris Worrell will not be happy to see that. Marcus is right up there fighting for the leaders. Someone getting a big scary moment coming through 3 and 4.
Yeah, that was Gavin Hibbs, who clipped the apron and then swung up, and that's allowed Byron Rodney to fall down in front of him, going the 4th car on the inside lane, but a big moment for Gavin Hibbs in that black and orange number 40.
I'll tell you what, if Byron Rodney does well in this race, I'm going to tell him to buy that bourbon more often.
It could be a one and done too. It's kind of what I did with the Stars Figure 8 League. All right, my winning percentage is 100. Is 1,000? Sorry, we're about 1,000. I'm going to bow out now.
Yeah.
Perfect record. Keep it intact.
As they come out of turn 4 again, this is still James Lowe in the pole position spot right now as they come across the line. As we still have 25 drivers still on the lead lap here, and Scott Warren is still part of that lead pack. This is how far back that lead pack stretches, all the way back to Scott Warren, and maybe even, well, it's John LeBombard behind them, but Scott Warren, the last driver on the lead pack, and if he so wanted to, really wanted to push the issue, he could push his way back to the front very easily.
He could, but this is the problem with guys not liking driving these trucks. As I was mentioning before pit stops happen, there's a reason why there's a little plexiglass sheet on the rear spoiler of the Cup cars, is so you can see through the car in front of you to see what's going on ahead of him. You cannot do that in the trucks. You sit so low, the top of the truck sits so high, and that rear spoiler is really high. So when you're right up on the back end of somebody, you cannot see anything other than their spoiler braces. And that's one of the reasons That's one of the things that makes this car very, very uncomfortable and awkward to drive.
Yeah, and look at the power move by Marcus Adams on the outside. Big move there by the 31 as he moves his way to the front ahead of his teammate.
Yeah, it was the 37 of Will Rodemar who pushed him up to the front. Gavin Hibbs goes from the inside line to the outside line. We're seeing another aggressive run from Gavin Hibbs here after winning at Talladega earlier in the year.
Yeah, and he was one of the surprise winners. He was one of the names that I did not have at the top of my head to win a race this season, but then again we thought that about Femi Olat a few rounds ago, and look what he did.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think you talk about Gavin Hibbs being a surprise winner. I think James Cato might be the surprised winner of the season.
Yeah, and James
still love his reaction when he realized that he won the Dash for Cash.
As he's running to the inside of Chris Worrell. Worrell having a very mediocre race by his standards here tonight.
Yeah, he's the points leader. Now here come those tribute cars into pit road. So they're now coming in. But again, Worrell comes into the night, 2 wins. If I remember seeing the standings right, I believe he has a 39-point lead in the standings. So this might be a rather pedestrian night by design for Chris Worrell. Really doesn't have to push all that hard in these next 3 races. He knows he's in the playoffs.
I just noticed Nick Kessler has been in pit road for the best part of 11 laps now, so he's had problems somewhere.
Yeah, he did have rear end damage. Don't know where he would have gotten that.
Gene Cato coming to pit road as well. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're all right. I think I've cut you off a couple of times tonight. It's only fair.
Yeah.
It's the battle for the lead now is between Rodemar and Gavin Hibbs in the 40.
Yeah, and these guys aren't too far behind when it comes to pit stops, so I'm wondering if the tribute cars, Pat Worley and Brandon Wilson, maybe they've made the correct call here with pitting off sequence, because when these guys have to pit again for their final stop, those guys might not have to pit again when they do, if that makes any sense.
So you said they had come in on lap 27, correct?
Yeah.
There's 27 to go right now. Now, granted, there was a caution that helped keep those guys hanging around, but they're going to be cutting it really, really close on fuel. They might need to swap that order around a little bit just to make sure everybody can save enough fuel to make it to the end.
A very impressive run by these guys so far, and I don't want to jinx the field, but I'm gonna say that they've been green for quite a substantial amount of time now. Only 1 caution so far here tonight, and looking very promising as always. Some very, very clean and respectable racing amongst these guys as Gavin Hibbs just gets left out on his own on that high side.
Yeah, Michael Anthony went down to the inside line, and now now he's got company on that outside line. As boy, Hibbs can't catch a break. They run away from him on the outside, then when he goes to the inside to join the group, everyone runs to the outside on him.
Yeah, look at Michael Anthony starting to push his way forward again. Those 3 trucks just power their way to the front right now. Michael Anthony, he said last week he's not going to be messing around this week, and he's definitely showing that now.
Yeah, they got a run. They got a serious run behind, I believe it was Brody Smith, and all 3 of them just carried that run all the way to the lead, knowing that 3-truck gap, they're going to have to wait on it. And these guys now running in a single file line on the inside lane. The last time they did that, they pretty much were signaling that they were coming into pit, so I wouldn't be surprised if pit stops are coming soon.
As they're coming up to put another lap on Zach Bowman. There we go, Zach Bowman now 2 laps down. He's had damage, so he's got some damage from somewhere, because his rear tailgate is completely bent in.
think it was that first accident. He got no front end damage. I didn't really look at the back end, and I think that's where he got a lot of that damage on the first caution on lap 7.
Scott Warren started to make his way forward again. I did say earlier that he was still in touch with the lead pack here, as he's already made his way back up to P12 here, running on the back of Chris Worrell, Cody Smith and Greg McConey. So Scott Warren has realised now is the time to start pushing forward with less than 25 laps to go. And I said he was having a pretty mediocre race by his standards, but Chris Worrell's starting to move forward as well now.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by what's happening here, because those three, speaking of Adams, Lowe, and Anthony, those guys got in a line, pushed right up to the lead. Rodemar has hung with them. They have broken away from the rest of the field. I'm surprised that these four have been so quick in that order. And out, yep, here they come. Surprised they were so quick in that order to be able to break away like that.
Wow, Marcus Adams going very deep into pit road there. I'm not sure if they have a rule against going through that many pit stalls, but he's going through all of them, it seems.
I would think he wouldn't do that if they did, but yeah, he went right down to the inside wall to avoid getting run over.
The pit stops are underway right now as Chris Worrell opting to stay out here, as well as Cody Smith, Scott Warren.
Cody Smith. Sashawn Dwyer is out there in 4th place right now. Connor Trafari in that group as well, and now here they come.
Oh, late entry for Worrell, that might hurt him. And no, it doesn't. Sells it around the outside. Wow.
Yeah, that was all right from him. It would have been a lot more hectic if it was in a pack, but still a good run there.
Very scary moment for Dura, though. He was very close to the wall coming to the pit road, but he managed to keep it down low, keep it off there. So good for him.
Look who's leading the pack now. It's Michael Anthony, and he's got Rick Seabrands in the 93 behind him.
Seabrands only took 2 tires, so
big jump from Seabrands. He came in 19th is where he was scored.
As they come down towards turn 1. We're on lap 59 of 80. I believe they've still got another pit stop to make, maybe?
No, they should be good to go from here, providing there's really no green, white, checkered.
And there we go. We're on the freeway now as they are on the fast lane of the freeway. See the people coming out of pit road in the slow lane, headed by Chris Worrell. And Worrell thought about going up another lane and didn't realize they were coming so fast behind him. Yeah,
and unfortunately for Michael Anthony, he got caught behind those guys, needing the outside line to go through. Seabrands fortunately had the position to be able to move up, but Michael Anthony really got shafted with how slow those guys were coming out of pit road.
Absolutely. Rodama back up there in P2. Lowe on the outside, leading the outside line there with Seabrands there. We've got Scott Warren right there, and Roberto Ramirez still hanging strong with these guys. You said this pack likes to fizzle out as the race goes on. Now we're down to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 12 trucks only in that lead pack now.
Yeah, the rest of the trucks are in a line behind them, and they will catch up to this front pack. They're all close. They're all in a line. No one's racing each other. They know their best chance. Sit in a line and give it about 4 or 5 laps, and they'll be right back up at the lead group.
Yeah, as we're looking at Zishan Dura, currently sitting in P13 right now, has Keith Smalling right behind him with Greg McConey still a lap down. And I swear Greg McConey must be absolutely screaming for a caution right now, because he's been in that lucky dog spot for so long and nothing has come about it.
That's the way of the world sometimes. You need it and it's never there. When you don't want it, it's right out. It's unbelievable how luck works sometimes.
And it's got a decent gap over, I believe it's John LeBombard, who's currently in that fighting for the lucky dog spot, but he's 13 seconds behind McConey. So McConey very much locked into that lucky dog spot. As here, looking to the outside there, we're seeing Jason Papp and Co trying to make a run forward, but it looks like that second pack have lost the draft from the lead pack now.
Yeah, they haven't caught up just quite yet, and I'm surprised that the two Memorial cars would jump up to the outside line. Those guys are a lot quicker in one lane, not fighting with each other. Connor Trafari has done a great job with Zishan Duera right behind him to get them back up to this lead group, and they're just about there.
Yeah, almost, as Michael Anthony is the last driver in that lead pack, and here we go. He has caught the draft now, and we are going to see them all bunch up once again. And this is what we like with these guys. When they get to close racing, they really do it in style. As Scott Warren and Rick Seabrand's fighting out for the lead now. This is the first time we've seen these two do it all night. Oh, Seabrand's!
Yeah, he got a bad bump from Cody Smith, and that spreads out the pack, and that will definitely bring that group of cars, as now they're starting to fan out into side-by-side racing, knowing that they're there now. But a lucky escape for the 7 of Cody Smith and for the 92 of Seabrands.
Now, we've had 3 retirements so far here tonight. Ryan Decker was caught up in that one and only caution we've had so far tonight. He is out. David Emig is out of the race as well. And Nick Kessler. Will point out that Will Klein and Spencer Owens did not take the start of this race here tonight.
Yep, so only 32 cars out of a possible 34, and I believe Zach Bowerman has just called it a night as well, so that's 4 retirements now, and 2 did not start.
And we still have 24 drivers on the lead lap. That is pretty impressive, considering how much of the race we have left.
And they're all right here.
Yeah. Roberto Ramirez looking for a power move around the outside, being pushed by James Lowe now as they come through 3 and 4. Rick Seabrand's going to go down to the inside line now. Cody Smith now pushing Scott Warren as they come down towards the line.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Warren up at the front, but this is as late as we've seen him actually make a move to get up to the front in that number 17, and his riding in the back all race long. I don't know if you'd say it paid off, but this was more of a pit strategy move that got the 17 up in the lead, and he's got that number 7 of Cody Smith right on his tail.
Yeah, and the only driver that's not taken 4 tyres out through that pit stop was Rick Seabrands, and I'm wondering if we're starting to see the result of that now, because, well, actually no, he's still fighting for the lead. That's all. Cody Smith putting a big block on the 92 there,
and that was a power move from the 7 and 92 to get around the 17. The 99 of Lowe tried to clear him as well, just couldn't do it. But the tires, you really wouldn't see. Wow, here come the Memorial cars again into pit road. They must have realized they couldn't make it.
They can't make it. They were completely off sync from the rest of the pack, and they need to come in for a splash and go as we...
Big body check from the 7 onto Rick Seabrands going into 1 and 2. Just slammed him on the door to door.
Very aggressive move there by the 7. But here comes Seabrands, finally getting his way to the point there as James Lowe gives him that push that he needs. Brody Smith still up there. Rodarmer's right up there. Scott Warren has fallen back to P6 now after all the shuffling around. And Greg McConey, if he didn't go a lap down, he'd be in contention for a win right now.
Yeah, he's the best looking one so far of the tribute cars, but unfortunately he's a lap down as now Brody Smith and James Lowe move to the inside. Both of those guys, if my memory serves, both of them looking for their first race win of the year.
Now don't look now. Third in line on that outside line is Mr. Byron Rodney, already back up to P7, and he's got another slow pit stop, but didn't take him long to get back up there again, did it?
No, he's liking that number 75 tonight. He's been driving it really well all night long. You said he was very patient. It's that knowing when to be aggressive and knowing when to make the moves, and Byron Rodney is one of the better ones at knowing when to be aggressive and knowing when to make the moves.
Well, with less than 15 laps to go now, the aggression levels are going to start rising now as we get closer to the end of this race, and it's James Lowe back at the point again with Brody Smith right behind him. Rick Seabrand's currently holding on to third place by a nose over Will Rodarmer. I mean, all the way back, I believe, to I will get it, Jesse Cottrell, all the way back to P19. They're all together right now.
Yeah, this has been a good race as far as these guys all sticking together through the pit cycle, and any one of these guys can win. As boy, you can really tell these lane switches are getting a little bit more quicker. They're getting a little bit more sharper, a little bit more aggressive. These lanes are starting to wiggle around a little bit more. This is starting to get down to it now.
Remember, points mean everything from this point onwards. We've only got 3 races left after tonight, and they're going to need to get as many points as possible, especially the likes of Brody Smith, James Lowe, who haven't won races yet this season, pretty much on the back foot with regards to getting into the playoffs. We will have points updates for you as we get closer to the playoffs from next week onwards, so keep your eyes peeled for those. So we will be able to keep track of who is where, as they're coming up to lap. Gavin Hibbs now is about to go lap down.
I think he got a pit road speeding penalty under that last cycle of pit stops. It's the only explanation as to why he's as far back as he is. That number 40 truck is still as clean as when they rolled it off the hauler. Not anymore, as he just puts it in the wall in 1 and 2, but I would assume he had a pit road speeding penalty.
Coming up on the tribute cars, as well as John LaBombard as well. Now, if these 3 cars go a lap down, this could spell disaster for that whole team, because that would mean the whole team would be a lap down now after such a good start earlier tonight.
Yeah, Cody Smith is getting really aggressive with the side drafting. He's got Rodamar still right behind him, pushing, not letting go of the back bumper of that number 7 AC Delco truck. McConey still hanging out there. Byron Rodney's up there. They're really starting to wiggle and move around now.
Well, you can kind of see why we are officially 10 laps to go now before the end of this race, and it's still all to play for. All the way back down to P19 now. Everybody is in with a chance of winning this one. You see on the lower part of your picture there are the 3 tribute trucks. We've got 2 on the grass there. That's Connor Trafari.
Jones also, both of them make it back onto the track. A little bit of a scare for the rest of the pack, but they're still well within drafting range. But a great save from Trafari and Jones.
Yeah, and that's cost Marcus Adams dearly as well, as he had to back out of it, and he's right behind, right down the pecking order now, down in P16. He's got Chris Worrell right behind him. The 2 drivers that have won that are multiple race winners this season, being caught out pretty badly by that, but it's the 2 Smith brothers that are leading this thing as we are 9 laps to go here at Daytona as they come out of turn 2, Frank.
Yep, Brody on the inside, Cody on the outside, and a big shove from both of them. The 37 of Rodamar got Cody a little bit harder than the 99 of Lowe got Brody. It's still Brody taking that shorter way around the track on the inside, still able to hold the lead. But that outside line, it can get the momentum, it can get the push, and you just need to win there. That's all you need, just little. We saw in the Sim Racers Edge race a couple of weeks ago, you don't need to be too far in front to win one of these things.
Especially on the Super Speedway, and we haven't even, we've seen it so many times with all the other stock car leagues we've broadcast in the past, that it's proven that you don't need that much of a distance to be, well, like you said, as here comes Rodarmer to the outside now. He's taking a high line there, probably trying to put Cody Smith into a sucker hole here, but Greg McConey staying exactly where he is.
I think Rodamar may have got pushed out by Brody Smith, and that moves James Lowe to the outside lane. And boy, Rodemar took a big slam into the tri-oval wall.
That's going to cost him.
Cody Smith is right to the inside lane, takes the lead away from the 22, and the 99 going to have to fall back and wait for help from McConey in the 12.
Here comes Seabrands as well, making a lane out for himself, right in front of James Lowe now as they come down the super stretch on lap 74 of 80. And there's still a lot of drivers there ready to pounce there. Scott Warren, Roberto Ramirez, even Joe Francis is right there right now.
Guy we haven't talked about at all is up there as well. Keith Smalley in the 2. He's up there as well, as Michael Anthony had a big moment coming out of 2, going down the back straightaway. It was able to hold on clearly, but Seabrands leading that outside lane with James Lowe right behind him, trying to get some sort of momentum and some sort of run on the Brothers Smith on the inside.
6 laps to go here. Down the super stretch once again. It is getting very hectic up at the front here, and a lot of guys just laying off there. You see Marcus Adams and Chris Worrell just laying off the lead pack here with James Cato right behind them. Those 3 know exactly what is about to happen here, and we know as well. I'm pretty sure we know as well.
Yeah, and that's key, because 1 and 2 can push each other in the line. Once 3 starts pushing 2, then that's when you have the issues. So you really have no choice. If you're Byron Rodney on the outside, or if you're Scott Warren on the inside, you really have no choice but to just lay off the car in front and just hope they're giving you the push. Hope they're getting the lead car to push to get you guys out ahead.
Michael Anthony looking for the big power move on the outside. He has been pushed by, I believe that's Keith Smalley pushing him on the outside there.
It is Keith Smalley in that number 2.
Oh, and there goes
Logan Jones.
Logan Jones has gone off.
He still drifted it.
Woo!
It's
save it. Great save.
Wow.
Let's go back and watch that one.
Slide. What a slide from Logan Jones. Again, it's just a bad push that gets him down there. And just an incredible slide.
Deja vu. Anyway. As we go back to the racing action here, we are 4 laps to go here, as there is LeBombard on the apron, but now James Lowe to the point here now.
Yeah, and that's Greg McConey leading the middle lane. Michael Anthony on the outside, so we're 3 wide for second place here. Seabrands trying to push Lowe for everything he's worth.
Byron Rodney right through the middle. His progress only being blocked by Greg McConey right there. Scott Warren in that middle line as well. You see Joe Francis going down there. It looks like Connor Trafari and Tribble going to go through that middle line as well. There are 3 outside though. Michael Anthony, Keith Smalley, and Smalley into the wall there. That's going to stack. Looks like it's going to stack Rodemar up.
He's in the wall again here in 1 and 2.
There you
Boy,
go.
Smalley really didn't want to be on that outside lane.
Yeah. It is very scary being up there. I've been up there before, and I've needed a new fire suit after I got out of it.
And again, it's a lot harder to run 3 wide at this track. It's a lot narrower than Talladega is. So running 3 wide here is a very scary proposition, especially with how much these guys have been wiggling these last couple of laps. Oh, there goes Seabrands!
And that's going to bring out the caution right before the popsicle sticks come out. And that is exactly what Greg McConey needed.
That's what Greg McConey needed. Also not far ahead of them were the rest of his tribute cars as well. So they managed to stay on the lead lap. And that's just a matter of pushing, trying to push for a win. Unfortunately, Seabrands involved, Warren involved. I think the 40 of Gavin Hibbs was in it as well. The 50 got a little piece of it.
And it was a bad push from Greg McConey that started that.
Yeah.
Scott Warren getting a big piece of that one, and looked like Marcus Adams going for a ride for the grass as well to try. Oh, he went for pit road. That's going to be a major penalty for the 31.
No, I believe he's actually had that black flag cleared because he was trying to avoid an incident there. So the 31 is good. So this will be the first of 2 green-white checkered attempts, and I would expect everybody to come down pit road here.
And a redemption there for Logan Jones, who obviously went for that Tokyo drift through 3 and 4. He will be able to join up to the back of the pack as well, as they join up behind the pace truck for only the 2nd time here tonight. And you gotta say, that is a pretty big testament to the drivers, as James Lowe is the only driver to come down pit road here.
Oh, that's one of those situations where it's the last place you want to be is in the lead, because everyone behind you is going to do the opposite of what you do. But fortunately, Lowe is going to have a couple of guys come in behind him. I know Connor Trafari's in there, so he won't be going right to the dead end of the pack, but he's still going to be falling back quite a bit.
Yeah, as Marcus Adams, I believe, is in there as well. Yes, he is. Joe Francis in pit road. Logan Jones is in. Chris Worrell in pit road. Keith Smalley, he's in there for damage repairs, I believe. So, yep. Unfortunate for him, that right side of the number 2 is completely tore up.
Yeah, Seabrands has called it an evening after that incident. Scott Warren is through-putted, but after how much damage he had after that wreck, I'm not surprised.
Oh my goodness me, it's another one of them classic iRacing East Series races here tonight.
Yeah, that stinks for us that we have to call such great racing.
I love it. I just love it.
So that will leave the brothers Smith 1 and 2. Cody, then Brody.
Would that put them in trouble, though, because they're on extremely old tyres, as well as Ramirez, Anthony, Rodney, Rodarma, Tribble.
The tires don't matter here as much as they would on an oval, so it's really, of course it would help. It might hinder the restart, would be spinning the tires, but other than that, once they get out of the initial restart phase, it really will not be a big issue. You might see a little slipping, you might feel a little loose coming out of turns 2 and 4, but other than that, it's once you get out of the initial restart phase, what age tires you have really doesn't matter.
Big redemption there for the tribute trucks, as we are looking at Brandon Wilson right now, Ryan Worley right there, Jason Papp right there as well. Both of those are on relatively fresh tires compared to everybody else. 15 laps on their tires, but still gonna have a big advantage here. Obviously, Greg McConey not going to benefit too much from the caution. He did get his lap back, but he's got to go to the back of the field because of the lucky dog.
Yeah, and he's going to need another caution, and he's going to need to not get involved in said caution if he wants a legitimate chance at making it through. He's going to have to make some very aggressive moves to get that number 12 up to the front in 2 laps.
So potentially for the final time here tonight, the lights are off on the pace truck. We are ready to go and race this one to the checker flag, as the two Smith brothers lead this one. Cody on the inside, Brody on the outside. You've got Roberto Ramirez on the inside of the second row, with Michael Anthony on that second row as well. Byron Rodney and Will Rodarma make up the third row. Fourth row will be Aaron Tribble and Zay Shadura, and row 5 will be James Cato and Jesse Cottrell. But here we go, out of turn 4, potentially the final time here tonight. Can they race this clean to the checker flag, or at least to the white flag, as the pace truck is off? Waiting for him to go. Green flag in the air for potentially the final time here tonight as they come down across the line, and it's the two Smith brothers going to lead them down into turn 1 here, Frank.
Yeah, a couple of guys spinning the tires. The 88 of Roberto Ramirez spun them. Zashawn Duera in the 10 spun the tires, but they're out of that initial restart phase now. All good to go on the tires, as unfortunately no help for Brody on the outside lane.
Watch for the 3 tribute trucks on the back of that little pack there. They are going to be trying to push their way forward as quickly as possible, as we see Cody Smith and Brody Smith currently leading both sides of the line, as Byron Rodney almost getting it into the side of Michael Anthony there as they come through 3 and 4. They've only got to make it towards the white flag, and then we will finish this one under checkered flag conditions as they come out of turn 4. Here comes James Lowe to the outside. Lowe has just been in pit road, remember, and he's going to push his way all his way to the front, and it's going to be a break across the line. Are we going to see the white flag come out? We are going to see the white flag come out.
It was right at the line. They had already taken the yellow. They had already taken the white flag, and it's Cody Smith's really his race to lose unless he pulls over and lets Byron Rodney take it.
Yeah, Cody Smith going to lead them down now as he's going to probably collect his first race win of the season. Byron Rodney in second place. Will Road Armour? No, not Road Armour. It's not.
That's Cato, James Cato in the 3.
Wow, the time of scoring is not updated yet as they come out of turn 4. And we're going to see this happen right here, right now, as they come down towards the line. Cato. And it's going to be...
Oh, Cato and Rodney!
Oh, they collided. Rodney is going to be very unhappy with that one as James Cato will steal second place. Byron Rodney, can he make it to the line? He won't, and it's going to be... I can't see who that's going to be. I
couldn't see it either. It's just
flashed. My time of scoring has just completely frozen up here. I can't see who has taken third place. It's Chris Worrell that's taken third place.
Just trying to see now. That was... No, it's Greg McConey!
Oh, wow.
Greg McConey goes from 22nd to 3rd.
So...
Oh, no, wait. It's showing McConey was still a lap down. So no, you're right. You were originally right. It was Worrell.
Yeah, Byron Rodney not going to be happy with that finish there. James Cato and Rodney coming to blows near the end there as we're going to take another look here. And it looks like we're going to take another look at it here because it did look very controversial coming out of turn 4 here. You see, Cato was coming to the back of Byron Rodney as they come down towards the line. Rodney tried to cover him off, and I've got to say that's on Rodney. He came down on him.
Yeah, and I'm looking back at the original wreck, and that one's on Byron as well. Byron slid up going into the tri-oval, and that got Michael Anthony's turn sideways and set everything else off. So, unfortunately, both of these incidences on the 75.
Absolutely, as we're going to go to the interviews for this one, as we're going to go and try and find the race winner. If I can see him, I will grab him. There he is, Cody Smith, going to the... There we go. As Frank, I believe you got Cody Smith with you right now.
Here's what it is.
Yeah. Cody Smith, Frank Marchese, ESPN, you got us?
Did you see me?
Yes, sir. I got a copy. How you doing?
Good. First race win of the year, and when you watch the replay of that last wreck, you're going to realize just how close you came from just about getting swiped out of that.
Yeah. With my luck this year, I figured it would have caught me up. I've just had terrible luck in the super speedway side this season, but looks like I cleared it probably by a few inches and was able to hold on for the checker.
Being the first car on the inside lane at that restart, how big of an advantage, especially in these trucks, was that?
And I don't get that way.
Yeah, it's huge. As you can see, though, that against the wall is probably the fastest way around, but you really have to trust someone up there. And we had teammates from the Balls Out Racing team coming onto the white flag, so they were coming with steam when they wrecked. But also just having my baby brother start on the outside of me, someone I can trust, and me and him had a channel together there at the Green White Checker and discussing plans, and it just happened to work out.
Going into we're going back to Daytona. We're going into Cup cars. I know a lot of people were not excited about driving these trucks here this week. More confident, less confident going into the Cup cars next week?
The Cup cars are actually my favorite. I love them. You can push. They seem to keep their momentum a little bit better than these trucks. These trucks are like parachutes, it feels like. Once that big wreck happened behind me, I went running from 190 in the pack to running 168 down the back straightaway. So, and momentum's everything in these trucks, as you can tell, and that's what causes us to wreck when we're all on top of each other. So, I'm looking forward to getting into the Cup cars, looking forward to being locked in the playoffs. I can race a little more aggressive now.
Anyone you want to give a thanks to before we let you go?
Yeah, my baby brother Brody Smith. He's an awesome little plate racer. Circle B Sales. I think they changed their name from Plan B Sales to Circle B, so you can get all your diecast needs there. Butt kicker. Yeah, they make awesome speakers. And there was a little kid named Sam that, or not Sam, Cam. I'm sorry, that was injured in a house fire that we're all, keeping in our thoughts and prayers and hoping he gets better. So I think we put on a good show tonight.
Yeah, you guys certainly did. And the 11th winner, I'm sorry, the 10th different, no.
9th. 8th.
We've had a lot of winners.
Your race winner,
Yeah,
Cody Smith.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So that was Cody Smith joining us in the booth. Now we're going to bring in the man that finished second right now, and that will be Mr. James Cato. James, second place on the night, but it didn't come without its controversies here.
I mean, to me, it ain't controversy. I got the spot. You come down. I'm not lifting coming to the line. I really don't know why it matters. I mean, I don't know why he done it. I think it was his first race, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but anyway, you still got second on the night. More points for yourself as the playoffs are getting close. We saw you sitting back there for quite a long portion of the race. Were you waiting for that last that end race in melee to start, or were you just sitting back there relaxing?
I got a win already on the season, so I really ain't too worried about points. That's what I try to do is just sit back there, wait for people to take themselves out, and it seems like we always have a caution last 10 laps or so, and if you make it through the wreck, you got a good shot at it. I mean, it only takes to lead one lap to win it, so I don't see the point in being up there and putting yourself in danger all race long. Yeah,
absolutely, and we see this week in and week out the melees that start at the end of the race, but you seem to make your way through them most of the time. I mean, like you said, you picked up the first race win because of a melee. Obviously, this time round, it's not for money this time, unfortunately, James. I apologise.
Yeah, it's all right. But I've been trying to get people to do the Dash for Cash, man. It's awesome. We need to get more people doing it. We need to do it again.
Yeah, you're looking to win it again, right?
Yeah, I'd love to.
But anyway, looking ahead to next week, we're back at Daytona in the Cup cars. What are your thoughts going into that one?
I love it. Hopefully it's an out race. But the way the package is in 3 cars, Cup cars is my favorite. The way it drafts, you get such great runs. I love it. Super Speedway racing, it's fun. It's a blast. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be another fun race here, as we've seen all season. Anyone you want to give a shout out to, say thanks to before we let you go and celebrate?
Yeah, Circle B Diecast, Bug Kicker, iRacing, iFlag, AC Paints, Midwest Motor Customs, Jessica Trail, Strictly Stock Motorsports, Kyle's dad, Jason Pat for putting on the league, you for broadcasting it, and the Tennessee Vols for being awesome. Go Vols.
All right, well, that's James Cato in the number 3 machine, coming up in second place here at Daytona. Congratulations one more time, and we'll see you next week when we return to Daytona in the Cup cars.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
So that was James Cato joining me in the booth, and, well, he's pretty much done it again, and somehow pulled a podium out of the hat somewhere. And Frank, I believe you got him with you right now.
What's up?
Points leader Chris Worrell, 3rd place finish tonight. How did you make it through there?
Oh man, me and James had that win. We had that on wrap, and then I don't know what happened there. I guess the new guy, slipped up and turned somebody there, which sucks. But really feel me and James were gonna get that dub tonight. But congrats to Cody. That's pretty awesome. I'm glad you got the win. I'm excited, man. That was an awesome finish. I can't believe I made 3rd out of that.
It was a fantastic finish, and you came into tonight with a 39-point lead. You're going to end up with an even bigger lead after tonight. With only 3 races left until the playoffs, I'm sure you're looking now more towards the playoffs instead of the next 3 races upcoming.
Yes, sir. We tried to play it simple tonight, or play it easy, I guess you'd say, and stay in the back and just be safe. For those very reasons. It's coming time, and I'm just trying to rack as much points as I can up. It's nice to have a win to know I'm definitely going to the playoffs. But I'm still trying to keep digging and get some more dubs.
And you have a chance for another dub next week as we're back here at Daytona in the Cup car.
Nice.
I'm sure everyone's feeling a little bit more confident going into the Cup car next week.
Oh, for sure. These trucks are out of control. I knew it was going to be a fun one tonight. You really couldn't work on the outside and make your way to the front, or like make positions if you were by yourself, with side draft. But if you and a teammate were linked up, bumper to bumper, you could move out there. It was pretty fun to try and experiment things. James told me we just weren't going to lift there at the end and stay close to the wall and just see what happens. And I can't believe we made it all the way up there. I really wish we would have cleared them before all, the mayhem happened. I think we would have been out front and on top, but Cody was the best man out there tonight, and he got it. And I'm looking forward to these playoffs.
And looking back at the restart right now, you guys were in the 7th and 8th rows, and in one lap managed to work your way up 5 into the lead.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Oh, for sure. For you guys, thank you so much for everything you do. We love the broadcast. You guys do a great job. I'd like to thank iRacing, iFlag, Plan B Sales mainly for being the main sponsor. And what am I missing here? I'm looking for it. Midwest Motor Customs, AC Paints, and Butt Kicker, and Balls Out Racing. My teammates James, Kyle, Marcus, Michael, and Keith. I'm sorry, I'm having overlapping communication right now.
You're good. You're good, but don't worry. We'll let you get back.
Thanks you guys so much. Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, no problem, bud. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You too.
So that was Chris Worrell joining me in the booth. But now we're going to speak to the man that's really was here for a reason here tonight. We're going to reach out to, and again, I'm going to have to go searching for him because he's up there somewhere. Where is he?
I believe we're talking about Jason Papp at this moment. And what I was going for, by the way, Brandon Wilson. I was going for with Cody, by the way, the 10th different winner in 12 races. That's what I was going for. Yeah, we completely lost confidence in my math skills.
We can math, we promise. But anyway, we're going to bring the man that's here for a reason here tonight, Mr. Brandon Wilson. Sam, up in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Racing for a special young man here tonight. Probably not the race you guys wanted here tonight, but really throwing out the tributes here for young Cam.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate the broadcast and, with the overlay and everything. That was awesome. But, yeah, the guys did really great. Greg did a fantastic job, on the truck. And his grandmother, Cam's grandmother, told me that he loves race cars and burnouts. And here locally in our town here, people have been posting videos of them doing burnouts. So it's pretty cool to see. And it's cool, like the other drivers got together and we did the burnout there. That was pretty neat. We all enjoyed that. But all in all, it was definitely for him. We got a top 10 though, so can't really complain too much. We definitely would want to win. But we did pretty good all night. We all stuck together. So, but yeah, like I said, the night was definitely for him, nobody else. So, but again, I appreciate the broadcast and paying attention to the schemes and all that good stuff. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and obviously the special moment that really topped it off tonight was the big burnout session you guys had just at the end of practice there, leaving the marks for the whole race on the front stretch just across the line. That was pretty special, just leaving a nice little emblem for everybody to race over as the event unfolded.
Oh yeah, that looked awesome. I didn't see it at first, and then they were talking about it. I looked over, and it was crazy. It just looked so neat. But that was pretty cool. I've never done that one before like that.
Yeah, but anyway, I know you were the man to put it all together here tonight for young Cam. And any words you want to say before we let you go?
Like I said, man, I appreciate the broadcast. You guys do a fantastic job. Jason runs a great league. We got some good racers, real competitive. It's always fun to come out every Friday night and run with these guys. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate it again. Cam is doing a little bit better. He's been awake and talking to his grandma and his dad and all that good stuff. So definitely good sign there. Still got a little bit of ways to go, but he's a tough little dude.
All right, and quickly before I let you go, thoughts on Texas? Thoughts on Daytona in the Cup cars next week?
I'm hopeful they're going to be a lot better than the trucks. Trucks get a little bit loose when you get behind each other, but it should be fun.
All right, well, Brandon Wilson in the 501, really putting this on one. Pray for Cam is the slogan here for tonight. Good on you for putting this one on, dude, and we'll see you next week in Daytona.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
And I'm moving down here. Frank, another epic race here again tonight, and these guys never disappoint here in this league.
Yeah, no, it's just one. I mean, that was a little mistake that brought out the first caution. Other than that, we've already had one race go green until the yellow flag, and we about had one again this week. It's amazing what these guys can do on the super speedways. I find myself after every race, after every broadcast here for iRacing East, I cannot wait for next Friday night.
Yeah, and it's always in good anticipation that we do look forward to these races, because they are always something special to watch. And make sure you keep tuning in every week, as there's always action on the track with the iRacing East Series, the Super Speedway Series here anyway on Friday night. So make sure you check us out each week. We always seem to have a good show for you there. But for right now, let's bring up the results for tonight's race, as we have one Mr. Cody Smith finally getting that victory here tonight at Daytona, putting it on the top side of the podium. James Cato coming home for second place after a bit of a incident there with Byron Rodney. We'll get to that in a minute. Chris Worrell rounds out the top three. Mark Mann coming home in P4 after all that, and Byron Rodney, after that collision with James Cato, finally getting home for P5. Sishadoro coming home in P6. 7th going to Jason Papp. 8th going to Aaron Tribble. 9th to Keith Smalley. And Brandon Wilson rounding out your top 10. He was very happy to get the top 10 at least. Logan Jones in P11. James Lowe in P12. 13th going to Joe Francis. 14th going to Connor Jafari, and Roberto Ramirez rounding out your top 15 here, Frank.
Yeah, Roberto Ramirez, the first car, 1 lap down. The rest of these guys finishing 1 lap down at least. Michael Anthony, Jesse Cottrell, Ryan Worley, Marcus Adams, and Greg McConey round out the top 20. Now, because that caution came out, I believe, with less than 5 laps to go, McConey did not get that lucky dog, so he did not get back onto the lead lap. He was the 3rd car to cross the line, but will officially come home in 20th. 21st will be Brody Smith. Will Rodemar will be the last car, 1 lap down in 22nd. Nicholas Wing, 2 laps down in 23rd. John LeBombard, 3 laps down in 24th. Rick Seabrands and Gavin Hibbs, both 5 laps down, coming home in 25th and 26th. 6 laps down for Scott Warren, who called it a night. 27th. Gene Cato, Zach Bowerman, Nick Kessler, David Emig, and Ryan Decker all calling it nights early, and Will Klein and Spencer Owens not making the start.
So another race in the box here for the iRacing East Series, as we are getting set to get out of here tonight. Don't forget to check out the sponsors of this series, as AC Paints, Midwest Motor Customs, Butt Kicker, Circle B Diecast, there's Plan B Sales with Circle B Diecast, and iRacing and Flag, those are your sponsors for here tonight. But we are paying tribute to one special little man here tonight, as prayers going out for Cam, and we're just going to leave it right there as we leave that on your screen for here tonight. But from myself, Simon Cooper Bennett, and from Frank Marchese, all that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will catch you tomorrow night live for NASCAR Online.